Vasudeva Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudiraye. Before reciting Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisance unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto Narayan Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya Bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. By regular attendance in the classes on Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and by rendering service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact. Guruve Gauri Chandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha. Namaha Pankaja Nabhaya Namaha Pankaja Maline Namaha Pankaja Netraya Namaste Pankajangri Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna, dear Vaishnavis, thank you so much for joining. We are reading Granth-raj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, the ripened fruit of all Vedic literature. And we read till text number 44, Canto 8, Chapter 12, the Mohini-murti Incarnation bewilders Lord Shiva. So I correct myself, we read till text 45, and we were discussing in the last verse about Krishna's bow, which is named Sharanga, and his name is Sharanga Dhanva. And then we discuss his conch name and his club's name, named Kaumudiki, etc. So let's continue with the next verse, text number 46, sorry. This is Canto 8, Chapter 12. Etan muhu kirtayato anushrinvato narishyate jatu samudyamaha kvachit yat uttama shloke gunanuvarnanam samasta samsara parishramapaham. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The endeavor of one who constantly hears or describes this narration of the churning of the ocean of milk will never be fruitless. Indeed, chanting the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the only means to annihilate all the suffering in this material world. Hare Krishna. Isn't this amazing? This is certainly an amazing verse. And generally at the end of the Leela, we see a common theme in the Bhagavatam is the Falashruti. So this verse explains the Falashruti of what? Of the Samudra Manthan pastime, of the churning of the ocean. So what does it say here? Shukdev Goswami is speaking this verse, that anyone who constantly hears or described arthat, or reading, hearing, reciting, hearing, etc., what will it lead to? The endeavor will never be fruitless. That means that no matter whatever we endeavor, whatever a devotee who is hearing or reciting these pastimes, anything he or she endeavors will not be fruitless. That means no project will go in vain. No service will go in vain. And what is the biggest project which we have taken? Any guesses? What's the biggest endeavor or project?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Prabhuji, it is attaining the love of Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Very nice. Attaining the lotus feet of the Lord or Krishna Prema. That's a goal of life, right? Every day we should chant this. Anyone, the goal of life is Krishna Prema. Anyone who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success. Krishna Prema. At the end of Namaprad, we sing this prayer. So that means that if we remember these pastimes, like the Samudra Manthan Leela or any pastime for that matter, the endeavors will never be futile. In the material world, we have discussed they do lot of hard work, and the fruit is alpasar, very, very insignificant. But for devotees, little service, little endeavor, niha vikramanashaste pratyavayus na vidyate swalpamapi asya dharmasya trayate mahatobhyad. Bhagavad Gita 2.41, I believe, or 40, I think. The point is that even little endeavor on this path can save one from the greatest dangers. So, what to speak of someone who constantly hears or describes these nations? The word muhu is used. Muhu is constant. And then what else would happen? When we chant about the Supreme Lord, who is said to be Uttama Shloka, Uttam means good or best, Uttam, topmost. So one who is praised by topmost verses, that's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Gunanuvarnanam. We describe guna means qualities. When we describe the qualities of the Lord through these verses, through these prayers, etc., samasta samsara parishrama apaha. Very nice word. Apaha. Can anyone tell any other verse where the word apaha comes? It's quite famous one.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yes.
Aho bakiyam stanakalakutam jiham sayapayayada visadvi. Is it Prabhuji? Jiham sayapa.
I'm not sure in that one. The one which was coming to my mind was Shoka Moha Bhayapaha. Shoka Moha. In other words, Krishna says, Yasyam Vaishruya Manayam Krishna Parama Purushe Bhakti Utpadyate Pumsam Shoka Moha Bhayapaha. Apaha means here destroy or finish. What will be destroyed? Samasta Samsara Parishram. We are doing a lot of hard work, right? Everyone agrees, a lot of hard work in this material world. Moving on in the cycle of birth and death, in dog's body, in human's body, in so much parishram, samasta parishram. So much we are struggling hard, getting degrees, money, and mortgage, and this, and bills, and then we may get some dog's body, or animal's body, or bird's body, and then again we will struggle and keep on struggling. Punarapi janana, punarapi. So all that will be destroyed. How? By chanting the glories of the Supreme Lord. So very nice verse. Shukdev Goswami is explaining these two glories, especially about hearing this pastime. Any other thoughts, or comments, any questions? Okay, let's move on to the last verse of this chapter, I believe. Anyone who has not read yesterday would like to read?
Yes, Prabhuji, may I read, please?
Yes, yes.
Thank you very much. Dandavat Pranam, dear devotees. Text 47. Asad avishyam angri bhava gamya prapannan amritam amara varyan asayat sindhu matyam kapata yuvati vesho mohayam ya suraririms tamaham upastranam kama puram natosmi. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation. Assuming the young the form of a young woman and thus bewildering the demons, the Supreme Personality of Godhead distributed to his devotees, the demigods, the nectar produced from the churning of the ocean of milk. Unto that Supreme Personality of Godhead, who always fulfills the desires of his devotees, I offer my respectful obeisances. Purport. The instruction of this narration concerning the churning of the milk ocean is clearly manifested by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although he is equal to everyone, because of natural affection, he favors his devotees. The Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 9.29, Samoham sarva bhuteshu na me dveshyosti na priya ye bhujanti tumam bhaktya mai te teshu chapi aham. I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal to all. But whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend, is in me, and I am also a friend to him. This partiality of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is natural. A person cares for his children, but because of partiality, but not because of partiality, but in a reciprocation of love. The children depend on the father's affection, and the father affectionately maintains the children. Similarly, because devotees do not know anything but the lotus feet of the Lord is always prepared to give protection to his devotees and fulfill their desires. He therefore says, Kaunteya prati jnanihi na me bhakta pranashyati. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotees never perishes. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 8th canto, 12th chapter of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, entitled The Mohini-murti Incarnation Bewilders Lord Shiva. So this wonderful verse culminating completing this chapter is glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is Bhakta Valsal. And so he's like Shubhilas Prabhuji always says, he's impartially partial. So he's always wanting the best for his devotees, and for a person who has surrendered to him, he wants to give himself. And Prabhupada gives the example of how a father loves his child, because the child is fully dependent on the father. So the father cannot go and take care of somebody else's child or the neighbor like the way the child he takes care, because the child is fully surrendered to the father with love, and he directs and takes care of the child. So similarly, if we consider non-devotees as people who are not dependent on the Lord, the mercy of the Lord doesn't flow to them as much as it flows to a devotee. That's what I understand. Prabhuji, please add or correct. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. So this pastime is coming to an end here in this chapter. Pretty long pastime if we go back. After the Gajendra pastime. So Gajendra was the first 2-3 chapters, and till 8.4. The first chapter was kind of a general setting the scene, we can say, and then 3 chapters of Gajendra, and from 5 onwards, this pastime begins. With how the demons were attacked, the demigods were attacked, and then they go to the Lord, and the Samudra Manthan, and then the Mohini-murti, etc. So, this question was asked to Narad Muni by Yudhishthira Maharaj before the Canto 7. We read Prahlad Maharaj's story. So the Lord seems to be partial, but yes, he is partial to his devotees actually. Like a loving, imagine like most of you are parents. There's one son who always obeys you and does what you say and what you want. And then there's another person, another child of yours who does totally opposite and says wrong things to you, and imagine they're grown up. And would you be totally equally inclined? Certainly not. So the Lord, although the Lord is not an ordinary person, but ye bhajanti tumam bhaktya maite teshu chapyaham. That verse is quoted many times. This verse is quoted many times in these pastimes. 929. In another verse of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, the Lord says, devotees reside in my heart. I reside in the heart of my devotees. My devotee does not know anything but me, and I know nothing but my devotee. That's the reciprocal relationship which Prabhupada mentions many times. So, and another way, killing the demons is also the mercy of the Lord upon the demons. It's an indirect form of mercy, but that's also mercy. So it's not that killing means punishment. Like curse of the great souls or curse of the Supreme Lord is also a mercy. We just need to understand it, how that's mercy. So this chapter is coming to an end here, and this Lila is, this section of Bhagavatam, we can say, is coming to an end. So we can do a quick summary and then take some reflections as well. So chapter 12, entitled Mohini-murti, bewilders Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva goes to, in the beginning of this chapter, Lord Shiva goes to the place where Lord Mukunda resides. In short, Lord Kṛṣṇa, Lord Vishnu resides. So Madhusudana, and he offers lot of prayers that how the Lord is the supreme controller, the supreme master, he's supreme unknowable. So he says lots of prayers in the till text number 11. He is sharing a lot of prayers. How he's Parameshwara, how he's inexhaustible, how he's the cause of all causes. And he's going along with his family, entourage, goes, Nandi, etc. And then we discuss the 4 qualities of devotees as well. Number 1, they engage constantly in the service of your lotus feet. Number 2, desire to achieve the highest goal in life, ultimate auspiciousness. Number 3, they are completely free from all the material desires for sense gratification. And number 4, they give up the attachment, the undue attachment which binds us in this life or the next life. It's a very nice verse. Text number 6 explains that how are the qualities of devotees. And then the Lord Shiva continues to glorify the Supreme Lord, and he also mentioned how different philosophers regard him differently, how he is the supreme knower. He knows past, present, future. He knows everyone in complete. We don't know ourselves in complete, what to speak of knowing others. Can anyone tell what they ate 2 years back in the lunchtime? No one can tell. We don't know ourselves also. Can anyone tell what time they got up 1 year back on this day? No one can tell. So we don't know ourselves completely, what to speak of knowing others. So Lord Shiva then, and we discuss this theme, anytime you approach the Lord, first thing, offer prayers, offer dandavat, offer prostrated obeisance, then offer prayers, offer archana, vandanam. This is a limb of bhakti, vandanam, offering prayers. And then Lord Shiva had an appeal that, Lord, I want to see your form of Lord, who I briefly saw in giving nectar, but I want to see that form of Mohini-murti. Lord Shiva came with a desire. But it was not a material desire. To see the form of the Lord is a spiritual desire. So Lord Shiva, being the best of the devotees, has a spiritual desire to see the Mohini-murti form. And then Lord Vishnu smiled with gravity. Really? Kind of, really want to see that form? You sure? Because the Lord knows what is going to happen. Uh, so with gravity and with smile. So those two adjectives are used in text 14. And then Lord Vishnu said that, well, I assume the form to bewilder the demons. You are a devotee. Why do you want to see, kind of this question? And then suddenly, if you really want to see, okay. And suddenly Lord disappeared. And Lord Shiva was, where did he go? Oh my God, where is he going? It was just, maybe he's gone to do some makeup. Okay. So Lord Vishnu is gone, and suddenly Lord Shiva sees outside in the beautiful park. It was a nice forest, and came this beautiful form of a woman with nice sari, with beautiful earrings, dancing on her cheeks. She was playing with the ball. She was very, eyes were restless, and she tried to bind her hair. That means her hair were partially open. Her bodily movements were so attractive and captivating. So there is a lot of detailed description about Mohini-murti, form of the Lord. And Lord Shiva saw this form. And she was glancing at Lord Shiva in a bashfulness or shyness. And Shiva forgot himself and Umadev. Lord Shiva forgot, oh, I'm with my wife. And then we discuss about Lord Shiva's attraction towards Mohini-murti. Of course, the most important lesson to learn here, which Prabhupada mentioned multiple times, Lord Shiva was illusioned by the internal potency of the Lord. But the lesson for an ordinary soul like myself is that Krishna's energy, Krishna's Devi, Esha, Gunamai, Mam, Maya, Duratya, very difficult to overcome, very strong. So one should always be cautious. Prabhupada mentioned, a devotee should be cautious. One should not think, oh, I am a senior devotee. Oh, I don't have lusty desires. Oh, I don't get attracted to opposite sex like ordinary people. Oh, I have been 10 years. Oh, 15 years. Oh, I'm initiated. Oh, I'm Brahman. This is all. If a person like Lord Shiva, Lord Vishnu is teaching that if a person like Lord Shiva can be captivated by Lord's energy, if the Lord wants to speak of any Tom, Dick, and Harry, to speak of any ordinary soul like myself. So in short, one should have a healthy fear that I am vulnerable, I am Chuta, I am not Achyuta. Krishna is Achyuta, I am Chuta. So I should be careful of my association, I should be careful of my thoughts, I should be careful of my words, etc. My contemplation, where is my mind going? What kind of thoughts I'm contemplating on? Because dhyayeto vishayan punsa samvasteshu pujayat. That leads to lust, attachment, and the progression of downfall. So that's the main lesson in this whole theme, in this whole story. So Lord Shiva continued to follow her, and Lord Shiva was basically victimized, and he lost his body's vital energy, and then caves and mountains were created. Golden caves, I believe, was mentioned here. And Lord Shiva realized that what had actually happened, that he was kind of illusion. But two qualities are mentioned. He was unagitated and unashamed. That's another next lesson, that a disciple is never kind of ashamed. Oh, my master defeated me. What's the point of being ashamed? That's actually glorious. Look at my glorious master. Look at my Lord. That I think I am great, but look at my master. He can defeat me anytime. He can put me into illusion anytime. And we discuss how Srila Prabhupada was actually so happy to be defeated by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. So that's the glorious position of a servant under the service of a true master. And then Lord Vishnu appreciates Lord Shiva and his stable position, and mentioned that he would never be carried over by Maya and the external energy of the Lord. And then Lord Shiva does circumambulation and kind of wraps up, says goodbye, and then Lord gives a tight embrace Won't that be a good sight to see? Lord Shiva and Lord Vishnu embracing. So the Kaustuba jewel, which was the Srivatsa is mentioned in that verse, which is always at the chest of the Lord. So Lord Vishnu embraced his devotee because he loves his devotee, as we just read now also, and the devotee loves him. And finally, Lord Shiva goes back to his home, Kailash, and then he's telling Uma, well, did you just see what happened? Did you just see? So look at my glorious Lord. He can put me into illusion. When I had finished my mystic yoga after 1,000 years, you had asked me who I was meditating upon. Here is that personality whom I was meditating upon. The Vedas cannot comprehend. So this is the personality I meditate upon. Aradhana nam api sarvesham Vishnu aradhanam param. Tasmat parataram devi tadiye samarchanam. So Lord Shiva is always meditating upon Lord Vishnu, and whoever hears these beautiful pastime of the Samudra Manthan Leela, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Mohini-murti, etc., no project will go in vain. Nothing, no endeavor will be fruitless. And the biggest project, the biggest endeavor we are all trying to execute is to be Krishna conscious, to develop Krishna prema, to develop pure love of Godhead. So if we keep chanting, reading, hearing, etc., these pastimes, these glories of the Lord, these name form qualities of the Lord, then certainly we will achieve destination. Our attempt will not be fruitless. So don't think that our attempt will be fruitless. If we are sincerely trying, in the path of bhakti, there is nothing called fruitless. There is everything has, even if we do 10%, we have discussed this multiple times, that 10% will never be lost. There's only forward gear. There's no reverse gear in the path of bhakti. In material life, one step up, 5 steps down. One may become a PhD or a doctor or a lawyer, engineer, whatever big degrees one may get. But next life, back to square. Even if one is born in human form of life, one has to A for apple, B for ball, all that one has to learn. One will not say, well, I did PhD or I did masters. Now just give me the job, give me the money. No, sorry, you have to go to ABCD. So that's the point. And I also mentioned I'll tell you the name of Krishna's ball. Who wants to hear about the name of Krishna's ball? Isn't that interesting? So Krishna's ball name is Chitrakoraka. This is from Sri Radha Krishna Gano Desha Dipika. Sri Krishna's paraphernalia. Sri name is Chitrakoraka. So all those who have kids, they can name their kids' ball as Chitrakoraka. And remember that Krishna used to play with that ball, Chitrakoraka. So, okay, that's a short summary of this chapter. Any comments, additions, realizations, reflections? Anything struck you in this chapter? Anything you really liked? Anything really, you felt wonderful?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I think this chapter clearly you already mentioned all the main points, but what struck me the most is one of the points you said about Lord Shiva himself showing us an example how we can fall prey to the illusory energy of the Lord. But here, Lord Shiva, of course, was not the external energy, but we can fall victim to Maya if we are not careful. And so one doubt that comes to mind is that why Mohini-murti is a form of the Lord is not worshipped? We don't see a lot of worship done, or even Matsya Kurma, Varaha. There are many deities. I haven't seen a deity of Mohini-murti. being worshipped, but maybe it is there. Just that question comes to mind. And with Lord Shiva, the Lord is trying to teach us this wonderful example. And Lord Shiva had a desire to see Mohini-murti. So is that desire wrong, to see a form of the Lord that brings out illusory energy? Is that one of the reasons why Lord Shiva was part of this pastime to teach us? That also comes to mind, Prabhuji. So wondering if you can shed some light onto that.
So the last piece you said, is that wrong to have a desire which brings out what?
So Lord Shiva was part of the Samudra Manthan, and he saw all the wonderful other incarnations of Lord, like Ajita. He saw the Kurma, and then the Sahasrabahu, and all that, and still he's coming to see, because he missed seeing Mohini-murti. He's coming to see that form of the Lord that bewildered the asuras. So should we draw a lesson that we shouldn't try to see certain things that we may be vulnerable to, even in Krishna consciousness? So if I like a lot of laddus, if I go and take up a service to serve laddus, and I may get a chance to eat more laddus, is that an understanding we can take from this also?
Yes, why not? Absolutely, we should take these lessons. And Prabhupada, you have to also get aligned with our parampara and our Guru parampara, that so many wonderful deities of Shri Shri Radha Shyam Sundar, Shri Shri Radha Madhav, Ashtasakhi, Shri Shri Radha Yugal Kishore, Shri Shri Gaur Nitai, Krishna Balaram. So in any temple you go, you'll find these deity Lord Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, Maharani. So that's our parampara. So we have to get alignment. All forms of the Lord are wonderful and transcendental, but we are following Gaudiya Vaishnavism, which is the topmost, the most intimate form of the Lord, or the most personal form of the Lord. These incarnations are there, which is fine, absolutely fine, like Kurma, Varaha, etc. But again, Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam, Indrari, Etecham Sakala Pumsam, Krishnastu Bhagavan. All these kalas, pumsam, all these are coming ultimately from the source. And we are, just to imagine our unimaginable good fortune, that first of all, we got this human form of life. It's very, very rare. In that human form of life, there's so many people. Majority of them are atheistic. In that, there are theistic, in the theistic kind of portion, which is very, very small, there are so many different variants. Some follow Buddhism, some follow this ism, some follow pantheism, some follow everyone is God, I am God, some follow the impersonalism, etc. Some follow God as a person. Now we go to a next level. There's those who understand God as a person. This is a very, very minutest of the minutest people. And in that also, there are like the Vaishnava Sampradayas, etc. The Sri Sampradaya, where the mood is awe and reverence. The Gaudiya Vaishnava mood, of course, we are in no way comparing or putting anyone down, but we are just trying to understand the unimaginable good fortune which we have received in this parampara system. Bahunam janmanamanti jnanavam mam prapadyati vasudeva sarvamiti samatma sudurlabha. And in that Vasudeva form also, understanding Radha Krishna worship, focusing on that as our goal. Shri Rupa Manjari Pada Sei Mora Sampada. We are following the Rupa Nugas. We are Rupa Nugas. We are the followers of Rupa Manjari, the eternal associates of the Lord. The Nitya, these these great souls have come and blessed this parampara. So we are following that. So we have to stay aligned with that. And we have these wonderful forms. So why should we crave for other forms? But the lesson you said about laddu or gulab jamun, if one knows that it's my weakness, I'm nowhere close to a pure devotee, I know it's my weakness, then I should do something about it. So I should either stay away or tell very, very clearly that Prabhu, you are my well-wisher. If I eat more than one, you just slap me or chastise me. How dare you trying to, you're really my well-wisher. Other than me for trying to eat like a glutton, you help me if you're really my friend and well-wisher. So same with the opposite sex also. It's not that we are in ISKCON, so we are free from all these lower desires. We should never let unfavorable environment carry us. So yes, we have to be careful. We have to be very, very careful. Okay, any other comments, any reflections, additions? Anyone has?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Yeah, Prabhuji, you very explained very well already all the points. So the point I like is when you said Lord Shiva, even though he was corrected, but he did not feel bewildered like Bhakti uh, Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. He did not get bewildered uh, when his master corrected him. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati. That's fine. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. That's a wonderful point. Okay, so we have still a couple of minutes. I think we can read the summary. So I would request two devotees who have not read in the last couple of days to please get ready to read the summary. One can read halfway through and other can complete. Would someone like to start the new chapter, chapter 13, entitled Description of the Future Manus? So Moksha Mataji and then Nikant will read. You can read maybe 2 or 3 paragraphs.
Hare Krishna, Dharma Pranam to all the Vaishnavas. Chapter 13, Description of Future Manus. Of the 14 Manus, 6 Manus have already been described. Now this chapter will consecutively describe each Manu from the 7th to the 14th. The 7th Manu, who is the son of Vivasan, known as Siddhadeva, he has 10 sons, named Ikshvaku, Nabhaga, Drishta, Saryati, Narisanta, Dita, Tarusa, and in the Manvantara of or reign of Manu, among the demigods are the Adityas, Vasus, Rudras, Vishvedevas. 7 sages are known as uh, Kasyapa, Atri, Vestha, Vishwamitra, Gautam, Jamadagni, and Bharadvaja. During the period of Manu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, appears from the womb of Aditi in his incarnation of the son of Kashyapa. In the period of 8th Manu, the Manu Sarani, his sons are headed by Nirmoka, and among the demigods are the Suptas. Bali, the son of Virochana, is Indra, and Galava and Parshuram are among the 7 sages. In the age of Manu, the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, uh, in the age of Manu, the incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead appears as Sarvabhaum, the son of Devotya and Saraswati. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Yes, you can't go. You want to complete?
Shiva, Hare Krishna, everyone. You want to read?
Yeah.
In the, in the period.
In the period of the ninth Manu, the Manu is
Daksha Sarvani.
Daksha Sarvani. His sons are headed by
Bhutaketu.
Bhutaketu, and among the demigods are the
Marichi Garbhas.
Marichi Garbhas.
Adbhuta is Indra.
Adbhuta is Indra, and among the seven sages is
Dutiman.
Dutima. In this period of Manu, the incarnations
Rishabha.
is born of
Ayushman.
and
Amudra.
Amudrara.
I'll read it. Okay. In the period of the 10th Manu, the Manu is Brahma Sarvani. Among his sons is Durisena, and the seven sages are Havisman and others. Among the demigods are the Suvasanas, and Shambhu is the Indra. The incarnation in this period of Manu is Vishwaksena, who is friend of Shambhu and who is born from the womb of Vishchusi in the house of Ramana and Vishwarasta. In the period of 11th Manu, the Manu is Dharma Sarvani, who has 10 sons headed by Satyadharma. Among the demigods are the Vihangamas. Indra is also known as Vaidrita, and the seven sages are Aruna and others. In this Manvantara, the incarnation is Dharmasetu, who is born of Vaidrita and Aryakta. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. Anyone wants to read the rest?
Yeah, I can read.
I think Nityam is.
Shall I continue?
Okay, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you. In the period of the 12th Manu, the Manu is Rudra Savarni, whose sons are headed by Devavan. The demigods are the Haritas and others. Indra is Rattadama, and the seven sages are Tapomurti and others. The incarnation in this Manvantara is Sudama or Swadhama, who is born from the womb of Sunrata. His father's name is Satyasaha. In the period of the 13th Manu, the Manu is Devas Savarni. Among his sons is Chitrasena. The demigods are the Sukarmas and others. Indra is Devashpati and Nirmoka is among the sages. The Manvantara Avatara is Yogeshwara, who is born of Devahotra and Brahati. In the period of the 14th Manu, the Manu is Indra Savarni. Among his sons are Uru and Gambira. The demigods are the Pavitras and others. Indra is Suchi, and among the sages are Agni and Bahu. The incarnation of this Manvantara is known as Brahat Bhanu. He is born of Satrayana from the womb of Vitana. The total duration of the periods ruled by these Manus is calculated to be 1000 Chaturyugas or 4,300,000 times 1,000 years. Hare Krishna. Back to you, Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So, lot of names in this chapter. We have discussed till the 6th Manu. And guess which Manu is currently going on?
28th, Prabhuji.
28th
Seventh,
Manu.
Vaivasvatam.
Sorry, Prabhuji. 7th Manu, 28th Manvantar.
7th Manu, 28th Manvantara.
28th Chaturyug, Prabhuji.
Okay, nice. Can anyone tell anywhere else with this mention about where was what?
Prabhuji, he is a Surya Dev right now, right? If I'm
Bhagavad Gita,
Bhagavad Gita.
chapter 4, text 1. Imam Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Imam Vivasvate Yogam Proktavan Aham Avyayam Vivasvan Manave Praha Manu Ishva Kavi Bravit. The personality of God, Lord Krishna said, I instructed this imperishable science of yoga to the sun god Vivasvan, and Vivasvan instructed it to Manu, the father of mankind, and Manu instructed it to Ishwaku. So we read the word Ishwaku, or Manu's son, 10 sons. Ishwaku is one of them. So 7th Manvantar is going on. Each Manvantar has how many Chaturyugas? What's the answer?
not wrong. 71, Prabhuji.
Sorry, what did you say?
71.
Yeah, 71, 72-ish. So 71 times 14, that's approximately 1,000. And that's called what? That's called what? Anyone knows? What do we call that
One
unit
kalpa.
of time? One kalpa. That's like half a day only of Brahma, which is equivalent to 4.3 million years. Sorry, 4.3 trillion years. Because 4.3 million is the duration of, who will complete that? 4.3 million years is the duration of what?
Chaturyugas.
Chaturyuga. If you don't understand all this, don't worry. Just take it easy. Okay, just understand it's a lot. Okay, Brahma's lifetime is a lot, trillions and trillions of years. But just those who want to understand, it's not that difficult either to understand. It's just keep multiplying. One Chaturyuga is one cycle of Satya, Dwapar, Treta, Yoga, and Kali. That's 10 times 432,000 years, which is equal to 4.3 million. 1,000 times that is 1.5, half day of Brahma. So, a lot of names will come in this chapter. 14 Manus in one day of Brahma, or we can say half day of Brahma, 12 hours of Brahma. So we'll study about these in the upcoming chapter, or this chapter, or tomorrow. Any closing comments or questions? Okay, we will pause here. Grantraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Purana ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Swami Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.